likes and comments, we all like likes. We put a picture on, who doesn't like to get a few likes? Who doesn't like to get a nice comment? Again, everybody always sees a happy smiley face or a couple online or a big grin and everyone's so happy. I try and be more real than that, because I have days where I don't want to get out of bed. Everybody who's listened to this, if anybody's got depression or anxiety or those feelings of a big cloud that comes over you on your shoulders, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. I read in this list, and there was 10 points on this list if you think you might have depression, and I had 9 of these points. I literally broke down, cried. I read that and thought, shit, excuse me French, that's me. I need to go to the doctors.
So welcome to a new video series called Behind the Reel. I'm here with Darren, who's invited me into his amazing home today, and this series is always about kind of bringing on influencers like Darren and trying to get to know a little bit more about them. So if we jump in, when I saw you on Instagram, I've been in the menswear industry before, and you kind of popped up, and I was amazed by your engagement. I was amazed by, it was very different from a lot of the other menswear influencers. So kind of, if we can, how did you get started with Instagram?
All right, Paul. Basically, I've always been into fashion, menswear, like to look after myself. And Instagram for me started really with my my partner. She was having pictures taken. I quite liked it, liked being around it. So I decided to one day have a few pictures and test the water, is the truth. 48 years old, and not trying to compete with anyone 28 or 25 or anything like that. And just dropped a few pictures on the Facebook, Twitter, and obviously Instagram, which is the main one. The rest is history. It just exploded over a period of time, really. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the ride. It's different, you know. It's you keep yourself young and active and as possible, and just be real. My Instagram for me is about being real. What you see online and what you've seen, you've contacted me obviously, what you see today is what you see online. I don't sort of pretend to be something I'm not. If I'm online and I'm stood near a Lamborghini, I'm not telling people that's my Lamborghini. I'm telling people I like cars, but I wish it was my Lamborghini, if that makes sense.
This is why I wanted you on here first, because I think that's what's great about you in comparison to a lot of influencers. So the whole aim of this is to try and break down that wall of that highlight reel that people post out on Instagram, and I was very guilty of that sort of a couple of years ago. So kind of, you're talking about being authentic with your posts. What do you kind of share?
Well, basically, again, you've seen on my page, everybody likes having pictures taken normally, me included, at the right angle, with the right look. I've got lots of jackets, lots of outfits. I've been very fortunate this year with lots of brands that I've been in contact with. Normally walking shots, sitting down shots, standing still shots with a car, with a bike or something. But again, it's all the things I normally like doing. The fashion thing for me, I don't believe, fashion's on the high street obviously. A lot of my shots are in the high street. I've recently done a collaboration with Men with Street Style, which has been very good for me, and Men with Class. They contacted me. Just to try and get that natural shot out there, really, that natural look. You'll always see me in white sneakers or trainers or shoes, whatever you want to call them. Normally a pair of jeans, shirt, sweater, coat, jacket, whatever, sunglasses. Took me over a year to not wear sunglasses, to be honest with you. But your confidence grows online. The engagement I get and the comments I get, it just makes me feel good. That also helps with my mental health as well a little bit, to be honest with you, which we can talk about today. But yeah, it's just basically a smart casual. One of the real big influencers from Germany messaged me once about 8 or 9 months ago saying, keep it this type of look, which I've got on today really. More my age group, my account will do better, but I've never really tried to look 28 or 25. I'm not competing with anybody of that age group. In fact, I'm not competing with anybody at all, only myself, to be honest with you. I beat myself up some days over it. So yeah, I just try to keep it real as possible, as natural as possible, and what you see is what you get, and I think that works. Yeah,
and you touched on a little bit about mental health. I remember when we've exchanged a couple of messages, you said that, you know, mental health is something that's close to your heart, and off camera you kind of said that it helps with your mental health, but also it impacts your mental health in some way. So if you can explain that a little bit.
I've been through bouts of anxiety, depression over the years. I'm pretty much self-taught myself how to control that. I'm not away from that situation. Again, everybody always sees a happy smiley face or a couple online or a big grin and everyone's so happy. I try and be more real than that, because I have days where I don't want to get out of bed. Everybody who's listened to this, if anybody's got depression or anxiety or those feelings of a big cloud that comes over you on your shoulders, they will know exactly what I'm talking about. And then other days I can't get out of bed quick enough doing my press-ups. I do that every day, by the way. That's one of the things that I try and do with my mental health. We can talk about with exercise, but with the mental health side of things, yeah, I've just learned to control it, and that's taken about 10 years. Working for myself doesn't help that, because it can be a lonely environment. So Instagram, for me, it's given me lots of opportunities, lots of collaborations, but one of the most important things for the Instagram, it's given me a lot of confidence, obviously. I don't want you to get that mixed up with cockiness or big-headedness, because I think you know now from what you've seen, I'm not like that at all, and I wouldn't want anyone to think that. But apart from the mental health thing as well, the community that I've met and the people that I've met, one person in particular, his name's Tony Barberio from Amsterdam. We've become almost like brothers. I've had the guy over here in the UK for his first time, and just little things like that really. Every single person that I've met online, I've met in London or Amsterdam, I've been to New York, I've been all over the place, all these different places. They've all been really nice people, male and female, and same with my partner as well. She's always been with me apart from one occasion. And the stigma of what you see online and with certain people and with certain things, I agree with, it's fake. It can be very fake. But what I've experienced is the opposite. So, made lots of friends, lots of contacts, lots of collaborations now, which are coming through thick and fast as the time's gone on. That don't happen overnight, obviously. My mental health issues have definitely improved, not just because of Instagram, but because of my fitness and looking after myself, what we eat, how we live. So yeah, it's all positive for me, Instagram. It's not a negative.
And I think we touched on that before, and I've mentioned it many times about social media is seen as a very negative. There was something recently about social media being the cause of young suicides, and I personally think social media has a lot of bad points, which is why I'm trying to do this series. But at the same time, as you say, it brings community. We've connected through it. This interview's happened because of social media. You've met some people from it. And you were talking about likes and comments. How does that make you feel? You said it makes you feel good.
Yeah, well, basically, first of all, the reason I'm doing this interview today is because obviously the mental health situation. You contacted me, you've travelled for 2 hours, so I feel that if guys prepared to travel, set up in my home, cameras, which by the way I'm pretty nervous about.
That's what I'm like.
But with all this situation, and I'm prepared to sit here and talk to you. Likes and comments, we all like likes. We put a picture on, who doesn't like to get a few likes? Who doesn't like to get a nice comment? Again, it's only a positive for me because of my age range, and I think people respect that as well. It's a bit different. You think differently, I believe, every 5 years in life. For someone, you're 15 to 20 to 25 to 30 to 35 to 40, you're 28, you said, in 5 years' time you'll be thinking completely different. One of my old bosses told me that years ago, and it's true. The suicide thing and the mental health thing for the youngsters, I believe, it's a lot of pressure for them. They see online this guy with a big chest and the six-pack, by the way, I'm breathing in, with the six-pack and all that, and they think all of a sudden they've got to look like that. Well, when I was 15 growing up, I was looking at magazines with them same guys in there, the men's health magazines, thinking, I've got to do my weights, I've got to look like that. But nowadays it's in front of them 24/7 if they want it. So yeah, it can be too much pressure, but again, keep it real. But you can't tell an 18-year-old to keep it real, because they look at you, and I'm 48, and they think, what's that old git going on about? They're not going to listen. When they get there, they'll realise that you're telling the truth. But I was no different at 18. It's just that there wasn't no social media around then.
Yeah, of course. If you're okay with sharing, so obviously getting to know you a little bit now, great house, nice clothes, seem like a successful guy. You're talking about business. Everything, and a lot of people would sort of see all of that and say, why would you be suffering with depression? The same with my dad. Why did my dad fall depressed? and why did my dad take his life? It was always the question. So what kind of what was it for you? Like, is there anything that you can kind of remember?
What caused my depression? I don't really know. Possibly with pressures at home a few years ago, or with pressures of being in business on your own, the waking up every Monday morning not knowing if you're going to earn any money, is the phone going to ring, am I going to sell anything today, or am I going to earn any money? And you've got a big mortgage, and you've got children and cars and everyday life, same as everybody else at the end of the day. And having that pressure, I used to work for a big large company doing sales. Before that I was a builder, so I went from the building trade, bricklaying environment, very male environment, to a sales environment 20 years ago, literally last October. A lot of pressure came onto myself. Yes, I did all right out of it, I did well out of it, but it wasn't through a lot of anxiety and pressure. I had a divorce as well, which doesn't help. So there's lots of reasons why somebody can be depressed. I believe the main reason it stems from something that you've either got too much time on your hands, not busy enough, this is only my opinion by the way, or something's triggered it somewhere. I never really know what triggered mine, and I didn't even know until I googled it one day, and this was over 15 years ago, and I started googling and reading signs of feeling you can't be bothered to get out of bed, tearful, tired, or stressed or whatever. Yes, I've suffered from stress as well, obviously. I don't want a violin or anything like that. I'm reading this list, and there was 10 points on this list if you think you might have depression, and I had 9 of these points.
Yeah.
I literally broke down, cried. I read that and thought, shit, excuse me French, that's me. I need to go to the doctors. Didn't go, carried on. A couple of years later, looked at it again, I had 10 on that list. Went to the doctor, he said, right, first thing is you've got anxiety, depression, severe, you need these pills. The stigma of taking pills for depression and everything else. I came out there, got in my car. It wasn't a very good time in my life at that particular time. I was 40 years old, I'd lost everything, which is the truth, and sat in my car in tears, thinking, blimey, what's happened? My life's just gone upside down. I'm in tears. I'm 40 years old. I should be over loving my 40s, not in, which is what I'm doing now. I didn't take the pills. What I decided to do was, I've always been into fitness a little bit. I went to my local boxing gym, Vic's Boxing Gym in Peterborough, and obviously met Helen as well, and also just trained 5-6 days a week, really hard. And after about 3 months, I went back to the doctors, and I just said to him, I'm not going to lie, I haven't taken the pills, but I do feel a little bit better, but it's more controllably better. And he said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing this and this. And he went, well, that's releasing good endorphins, Darren, in your brain, exactly the same way as the pill is. So he said, I suggest you don't take the pills and keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. The stigma of that is everyone is going to say, oh yeah, well, it's all right for you, and it's you've done that, but I've got to take these pills. If you have to take the pills, take them. I believe that. Yeah. If you have a cold or a headache, you take a paracetamol. So it's the same thing. So would I take them pills if I had to again? Yeah, I would. Did I? No. Am I pleased I didn't? Yeah, I am pleased I didn't. So the gym for me was not only a good place again for more confidence and socialising, but the releasing the good endorphins that a good workout gave me. I realised that's how I'm going to control this situation. So I made it of trying to eat healthy. I'm not a big drinker anyway. Have a couple of drinks. Don't smoke. Go to the gym. Look after yourself. So that's part of one of the parcels. The second thing, what I've also realised, what did it for me to make me feel good, was a bright sunny day like today. We've closed the nets there, the blinds, and now I'm sitting in here talking to you in this interview. Really, I should be out there getting some rains. But the truth is, sunshine again releases the vitamin D, good endorphins. So I became a bit of a sun worshipper. Yes, with the sun cream and everything else. But so a day like today, everybody feels better. They wake up in the morning, they open the curtains or whatever, and it's a bright blue sky day. Fantastic. Go to the gym, have a workout, whatever time of day that may be. get it done. I treat that like going to the gym as cleaning my teeth, going to the toilet. It's the same thing. It's a daily routine. I have about 20 minutes a day. I don't kill myself these days. I used to train really hard, try and have the six-pack and the big shoulders and everything else, what you see in the magazines. You've got to be completely 100% dedicated. I wasn't for that sort of thing. It was more, and I openly admit this, and one of my posts about a year ago, I said I actually go to the gym to give my mind a rest. And that is the truth. So I go to the gym for that reason. Because
you have to be very present when you're working out. It's very focused in on the workout. And
I used to do a lot of boxing training. I'm no boxer or anything like that, but I do.
That's probably one of the most present.
I do like the sport. And we used to do a lot of sparring on a Friday evening or a Saturday morning with the lads, and a lot of them are a lot younger. And you know what? Mixing with the younger lads and being around the lads down the gym. Having a spar, again, not pretending to be a boxer or anything like that, but I got half decent level of sparring. And the only thing I'm thinking about while I was doing that, I'm going back a couple of years now, was literally not getting punched in the face, but punching someone in the face. Have a hug afterwards. And I can always remember saying, we used to go for a coffee after that. I've always liked the coffee at Starbucks, a little plug for you, Starbucks. Used to be Costa.
Tell you're an influencer.
Basically... then we go and talk about it with aches and pains, but I'd have such a good feeling. I've done it on a Saturday morning or a Friday evening, been black and blue, aching like mad, feel like I've been run over, but the endorphins that used to come through and the confidence, it works. I don't spar anymore because my nose is big enough anyway, but I've got some little like red spots there and it just comes up, and it would literally feel like I've been run over by a double-decker bus if I started sparring now. So we do 20 minutes a day, a few press-ups, a little bit of jogging on the running machine, and very basic stuff just to get the endorphins going. But the boxing side of things definitely helped me.
I think that's a very key point. I mean, I always say mental health is very treated as this one-size-fits-all approach. It's typically the doctors will prescribe antidepressants. You know, same with my dad. Talking therapy, but we know there's a huge waiting list for that. So I'm glad that you spoke about exercise and nutrition, because I think it's finding what works for you. You know, some people might not like boxing because
absolutely.
You know, so it's really an individual thing, isn't it? And if we can just quickly go back to that moment where you sort of went to the doctors, do you think it was a real gradual thing to reach that depression, or do you think it was just a kind of overnight?
I think it was a gradual thing, but I hadn't realised it, and I couldn't realise why I was in tears some days, and I couldn't realise why I was feeling sorry for myself, and that lack of motivation and lack of energy. Even though I've always kept myself fairly fit, I've always eaten fairly good foods.
Do you think you judged yourself as well because of being that sort of alpha male?
Listen, I was born in 1970. You don't talk about depression and on the building site, you know, and all those sort of things. So, for me, when I read those 10 points and I had 9 of them, the alarm bells were ringing in my head. Oh my God, I've got depression. Oh my God, I've got anxiety. I've got all these things on this list. And I panicked. I daredn't go to the doctors and say, look, I've got all these, because I was scared that he was going to give me a load of pills or take me into some reading place and not come out, you know. So it took quite a bit of time to get there, but in the end I had no choice but to go. And by talking about it, I think I've spoke about it from day one, because anybody that knows me personally will know I wear my heart on my sleeve. So I'm happy to talk about it. And if for me, same with the Instagram thing, I don't really like the brand influencer, if I'm totally honest with you, because I don't see myself that way, but a lot of people are saying that now. All I'm doing is showing my wardrobe off. But basically, what I'm really trying to say is, if I can influence, then, if that's the word you want to use, one person to go to the doctors to get help, or one person to look at my Instagram or my lifestyle and say, I want to do that, or for one person, which I get quite a lot of this, by the way, DM me and, where did you get that from, or where did you get this from, and I really like your style, I really like the way you live, or I like everything what you do. Does that give me confidence? Yes. But if I can help one person, all this today is worth it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. It's again one of the reasons why I wanted you on, because I agree. I don't like people that label themselves influencers. You know, for me, I look at you, I look at your engagement, and I say you've got influence, and you've got the right intention. I think there's a lot of influencers out there that are doing this because they now know they can make money from it.
Yeah.
And they're creating posts that they know that they can get likes, even if it maybe isn't affecting people in a positive
definitely, 100%
way.
If you want to talk about the Instagram thing, we'll talk about that again a little bit more. What you've just said there, I agree with completely. I turn down now 95% of brands or bracelets or watches or whatever it may be. I'm not going to discriminate anything. If I don't believe in something, I'm not taking a picture of it, sticking it on or around my wrist or on my neck or hat or tie or whatever it is. I've had tie companies, sock companies. Yeah, we all wear socks, but when has anybody really ever seen me in a tie? They haven't. So why do I want to 5 or 6 ties get sent to me and put all these posts on, you know?
Do you think your audience would then know, oh, Darren never wears a tie, now he's wearing a tie and he's promoting this brand?
I'm not saying I wouldn't wear a tie and put a suit on and have a nice picture. Of course I would. But to be honest with you, it's not really me. Will I put a tie in the future? Probably. Who knows? You know, this might come back and bite me in the backside. You know. But
what? Because you obviously know a lot of influencers in this space, and I do too. You know, what would you say that maybe some of them maybe need to improve upon?
Well, the influencers that I know, I've become friends with, I would say probably nothing. Because they're good lads, to be honest with you. You know, that's their job. For me, it's always been a hobby, but some of them it is their job. But the ones that I know, Carl Thompson's a good example of that. Hawkins and Shepherd, he's got his own brand. Very respectful guy. He's a young lad.
Carl knows business as well.
Carl's a good businessman. Got a lot of time for Carl. I've mentioned him on purpose because you've just asked me. Somebody that I inspire to with this world that he's in. He's more natural to it than I will ever be, but we've met up a few times, a few occasions. We've had a box together at the Co-Box that he's an ambassador of. He's helped me a lot in lots of ways, lots of messages. So if anybody out there wants to look at the way he does his advertising, I would say there's a good one to look at. Yeah, you're going to get some people that will advertise absolutely everything and get their paid or they're free or gifted, as you say these days. So it gets gifted and they want to put 10 pictures out there. That's also fine if they want to do that. But for me, I can't do that. You know, I've just recently doing a collaboration with Gant. They've contacted me. I'm going to be choosing some items and I'm going to advertise for them. It's a good brand, so I've said yes to that one. I do a bit with Goodwin Smith shoes in the UK, a little bit with Bodeskins, the leather jackets, because it's products that I believe in. I'm not going to insult any people that follow me all of a sudden by sticking a shirt and tie and a suit on just to say that, oh my God, I love this suit. If I don't, does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. And I think that's the best way of treating this. And I think maybe it was because you did it as a hobby in a way, and
it still is.
Yeah, exactly. and you did it for maybe your mental health as well. So and you saying that you only want to impact one person. Yeah, has that whole approach.
Yeah, and that one person's normally been my son, if I'm totally honest with you. I'm a doctor, obviously, and it has to a certain degree. I'm not going to talk about him too much. When people look at my wall, if they read my captions, they'll see on there's always a double barrel meaning somewhere, and it's always the truth as well. So it's not always about what I've been doing today. Yes, I've been round and posing with my bag or my coat, you know, or with my new shoes or whatever. That's obviously part of it, but it's what I'm saying in the captions or the quotes or whatever you want to call it, the words, there's always a double meaning in there. So yes, it can be what I've been doing that day or what I'm going to be doing. I'm a big believer in not telling people too much what you're going to go and do, show them. Every single person that comments on my wall, I comment back to. It's not always just a thumbs up or a smiley face or sometimes it's 5 or 6 words, 10 words or whatever, depending on who it is and what they've also put. But I get some genuinely nice comments, so I feel that I've got the right to comment back. Yes, it takes hours a day and it's 7 days a week, and it can be quite stressful, believe it or not. I said to myself last January, not the one that's just gone, the one before, I'm going to try and post 7 days a week and see what happens. That was the hardest thing I've ever done online, and the hardest thing I've ever done to try and keep the content well and to gain respect. But it all worked, it all paid off, it's all paid off nicely now. Then all the collaborations have started to come. So all these things that's happening to me now, people think they just, you wake up one morning, right, I'm going to go on Instagram, I'm going to put a picture on there and men with street style are going to come along and love me and and post me 20 times, and I'm going to have all these followers and have all these brands and all this money coming in. It's complete opposite.
Yeah, and I think I've only been here, not long, and seeing your work ethic of, doing video messages, commenting back, and you say you comment back to every single one, the photos, the time you put into it all. I think a lot of people don't see that with influencers. They see it as like they take a nice pretty picture and that's it. They don't see as well the first photo that you ever put out. Well, and the fear you were talking about the fear you had to get over to get on.
I've got that on here. I've got my first picture on. I left that on purpose.
Yeah.
The first time I decided to put myself on Instagram as a proper picture from a mobile phone, which none of them are from a mobile phone now.
Yeah.
But that's how it was. And you've seen the pictures around my house, the original ones, how it all started and why it started, and to give it a go, basically. It's just been such a good story for me, and I also use Instagram now as a visual diary. So when I go back through my wall and click on a picture, I remember where it was, obviously because it's located and tagged up, who I was with, who took the photo, what we was doing, what I was wearing. Look at some of my early ones now, and I cringe, but I want to keep them on there on purpose.
That's nice. It's almost like the old school photo book, isn't it?
Same thing.
Through it.
Modern day photo book, but it's obviously a modern day diary for me because it's a visual diary. Today's picture was with Memory Street Style. I've mentioned them a couple of times. I'm not plugging them, by the way. But the caption on there, yesterday was Valentine's Day, and we went to London. We've met a friend. We've had some pictures. One of them is on Memory Street Style today. But we was working on Valentine's Day together as a team, me and my partner. And we was working to get the shot right for them with the outfit to be good enough to put their logo on it to go on Memory Street Style, which is part of the collaboration that we do, and it's worked. Again, it's gone on there. But the point I'm trying to make is on today's photo, underneath the main bit where I'm obliged to be mentioning Memory Street Style, I've put on there, love what you do, and you do it well, or something along those. I can't actually remember now, I've just said that, but whatever the caption is underneath is what you've just said, my work ethic, but I'm passionate about it. Yeah, Valentine's Day we should be having some roses and sitting there with a glass of wine or whatever and looking into each other's eyes and telling how much you love each other. We was out working, shooting pictures because we love doing that.
Yeah, and it's the process, isn't it?
The process. The sun was out, we're in London, we're buzzing, we're taking pictures, we get a nice shot, that's the one we're going to use, and that's what we do because we love it. We're not harming anyone, we're not even showing off. It is what it says on my caption today. Love what you do and you do it well.
Yeah, I think that's so important. And you kind of said, I've drove here today, but I don't ever drive here and think, not looking forward to this because I shifted from the fashion industry to this, and a big reason because of that was again to enjoy it. Like, I was losing passion over the fashion stuff. Whereas this, obviously, because of the personal story, is something that I just love doing, and it doesn't feel like work. Some days it does, as you probably.
Well, I'm not paying it, so.
Some days it's.
We'll talk about finances in a minute.
As you were saying, some days you do get stressed, or there's times where you don't.
Daily.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's just normal. So, it's enjoying the process, and that's kind of what I wanted to highlight in this as well. Is that this was essentially for you.
Yeah,
a hobby. It wasn't,
It still is, to be honest with you, because if you look on my page, it says personal blog. It doesn't say influencer or public figure or anything like that. It says personal blog. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm an English guy, down to earth. What you see is what you get. That is it. It's on there.
Let's if you don't mind, let's talk about men in the fact of male suicide so high. Your background in the construction industry and suicides in that industry are shocking. Why do you think men are struggling at this moment, and especially with mental health?
I didn't realise that the construction industry, until you mentioned it a few minutes ago, and just now, was that was the situation there, to be honest with you. The male environment that I grew up in, from a 15-year-old lad, left school, no qualifications, by the way, nothing other than photography, which doesn't really do me any good. I was in building sites and doing extensions and working with a man environment that was a typical 1960s man, which was a man's man in a man's world and all the rest of it. Them guys are now obviously in their late 60s, 70s. A lot of them are not even here. So I didn't realise that was the situation, and it's certainly not something you would have been brought to be a subject anyway. But I think with social media and we're all susceptible to the social media thing these days, or the TV, or the internet, you know, the Facebooks, everything social media. It's out there within seconds. So I think it's always been there, but because it wasn't out there like it is today, it's more, you know, because it's right in front of you 24/7 pretty much, if you want it to be. What causes these things? I don't know. What causes a builder to want to go and commit suicide? I don't know. Is it because they work's too hard? Is it because they're doing something they don't want to do? Is it because they didn't do so good at school? Perhaps, like myself, I hated school. Didn't do very well at school.
Do you think you could have spoke to the guys at work about the depression or stress? Or
I think that's down to the individual and what confidence you got. As a 17, 18-year-old lad, I was always wanted to be a builder. I was passionate about being a bricklayer, but that subject never ever arose because I wasn't depressed. I didn't feel depressed. Was anxiety a bit? I think everybody gets anxiety on a daily basis. You've got to be some sort of special person that don't suffer from anxiety at some point in your life. Where you're worried about passing your driving test, or going to school for the first time, or going to get a job for the first time. You know, there's always something that's going to be your first time. What I try and say to my kids is, listen, there's always going to be a first time for everything. Go out there and make a few mistakes. That's how you learn. I'm a massive believer in that. I'm not bothered about falling over. Believe you me, I've fallen over that many times, not literally, but in life. Dust yourself down. Come on, Darren, start again and keep going. But you've got to have that certain mentality about you to be like that anyway.
Do you think a lot of that was how you was brought up?
Kind of. I was brought up by my father and my mum. Was 7 days a week workers, working for themselves. The shop. My dad was a builder. They've had several businesses. They've grafted all their life. They've only ever bought things if they could afford it. They're not rich by any way means. They actually split up about 20 years ago. No, not 20. About 15 years ago. Possibly, I'm not going to blame Mr. in case my dad ever sees this, but that didn't help. In my mid 30s, my early 30s to my late 30s, I had all the turmoil of my parents splitting up. So that possibly, that didn't help.
You don't really expect it.
No, you don't expect it, no, but my father's happy now, so, and that's the main thing. Everybody deserves happiness, no matter what. There's always two sides to every story. But sometimes, again, like I said to you earlier, you think differently every 5 years. At 30 years old or whatever, 33 years old, my son was born. He was only little then. My daughter was along, and I got the pressure then of my parents splitting up. And I'm thinking, blimey, this shouldn't be happening. It's happened to me as well. But these things do happen in life. I know you don't go to get married one day. My partner won't mind me saying this. You don't go to get married one day and you think you're going to be together forever and 2.4 children and live happily ever after. Nice house, nice cars, nice holiday, nice clothes. Hey, put a picture on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter and everything's rosy. And always the case. It's hard work, isn't it? But again, going back to the Instagram thing, what you see is real. Yeah, if we put a picture on there together, you see our smiley faces, we're generally happy.
Yeah.
Some people put that on there and you can tell a mile away they're far from happiness. So that's the fake side of it that I don't like.
Valentine's Day yesterday, my wife was scrolling through her Instagram, and I looked over and I was just like, it's all these happy couples. We're sitting there watching telly. Even I straight away start thinking, you start judging yourself in a way of, they're on the beach and celebrating, and I think that is the danger with it. And I think a lot of it is we're just not taught. We're not taught how to deal with social media or
again, yesterday, Valentine's Day, we're meeting a model guy who's a proper model, not like us, and again, all met through Instagram. Very, very nice lads, twin Brett and twin Scott. They call themselves online. They've modeled for Armani, and these are nice guys, not quite as old as you. I think they're about 26, 27. They're doing it full time.
I was going to say not as good looking as you.
They're really nice. They've been brought up well, these lads. They used to play football, but they're now modelling full time. Instagram for them is just another way of showing another picture off.
Yeah.
They're not bothered. But we met them. Me and Helen were out. We're taking pictures. So to get that picture on for today, people don't see that. They just think that picture magics up and it pops up and you get 1,000 likes and 300 comments. But it takes a long time. Yeah. So again, instead of sitting there whining and dining, we were out taking pictures, enjoying ourselves. But again, if I don't get the right picture, I can feel everything going, whoa, hold on a minute here. So you're almost pressurising yourself. You can take 75 pictures and not get one you like. You can take 3 or 4 pictures and boom, you've got the one you want. Thank you. get it edited, let's get it sent off, and let's get it on.
Yeah,
gives you that little endorphin rush again, you know. So going back to the couples thing, being happy, not being happy, the fakeness, we was out doing what we wanted to do yesterday. We get on a train, we're in London, we're meeting good people, we're having our drinks and our coffees and our pictures. So it's work really. And yeah, the results are there. It's on Memory Street Style today, so I'm definitely not plugging Memory Street. I've mentioned that too many times.
But no, I think it's great what you're doing, and like you said, you are happy to be authentic. What I like about you as well is you use the photos to kind of inspire, grab someone's attention, but then you always spend a bit of time on the caption, like the quote, or give them some positive message, which I think, you know, is so important for Instagram in particular, to try and use that caption to maybe get something a bit more positive across as well. With your son, is that kind of a similar approach? Yeah,
well, the other reason why I wanted to do it for Aaron as well was really I wanted to show him that you can build something from nothing if you're determined. My kids was then a little bit younger. They see me putting pictures online like any teenager. Oh God, my dad's online, or my mum's online. Quick, don't like it, don't look at it.
Yeah.
Let's have a picture together. I want to see if I'll see you on a Sunday, and something for my memories. You know, have a little selfie that you cringe. Now they want a picture with me.
Yeah.
Quite funny, really. It's gone full circle. But they're very, very pleased for me. They know the collaborations are coming now. And again, if you're trying to do this to earn a living, kids, you got to do it because you love it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I love it, and that's why the money side of things will start to trickle in now, and the collaborations with the good brands.
So your kids, are your kids very proud of?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, well, I know they are really, but yeah, my son always messages me, DMs me all the time. He knows if he wants to get hold of me now, it's pretty much through Instagram. The old text message has gone out the window now, or WhatsApp or whatever. So he always DMs me and says he likes this picture. He told me a few months ago to change my profile picture, and it was a picture that Carl Thompson took of me. We met with him and we went to the gentleman's show, the grooming show in London, in Shoreditch. We had a couple of pictures. One of them's online, me and Carl walking together, and he took a picture of me that I thought, God, I'm not going to like this. We sat in a coffee shop, we edited it, he sent it to me, I loved it. It's now my profile picture.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl. So if you're watching this, so it's my profile picture on my WhatsApp and on my Facebook, or anything social media, the same consistency. My stories are pretty clean as well, and you don't know who's looking. Gant told me this, they learned me this, and to a few other brands, they watch you for a long time. They don't just pick you up, oh, let's give him £500 worth of clothes. They look at you, you know. So all these things, what I'm trying to talk about realistically, I'm trying to help my son and say, look, you can do all these things, but you've got to be passionate about it. You're not just going to set up online and make a load of money overnight unless you're very lucky.
Yeah, I love that as well. So I remember someone once said to me, teach your kids by what you do rather than what you say. And
definitely.
I think like that's
definitely
that you're doing, isn't it?
You can tell your kids or your youngsters, you can lecture them every day of the week. I've been there, done it, got their t-shirts, probably still do to a certain degree. They'll only ever do what they want to do. My dad told me a lot of things. I'll only ever do what I want to do. Let them see your actions, let them see what's happening, let them see, you know, that's how they start, you know, learning in life. I do believe, somebody said something to me a few weeks ago actually, how old do you think it is before kids start learning to drive? What do you think the age is? What age do you think it is?
When they start learning
to drive?
I don't know, I'd say 17 straight away.
Every single person will say 17. It's when they get in that baby seat and they're in the back seat and all strapped in and they're watching you on your mobile phone, or if you smoke and you one on your mood, you're going, hello mate, you know, you're driving along, they're watching all that.
That's true, yeah.
Guilty, yeah. Have I been done for speeding? Have I been done for being on my mobile phone? Yeah. Have I been done for smoking? No, I don't smoke, I'm a clean living lad. And I'm thinking to myself, blimey, I've speeded, of course I've speeded. I've been in the cars, I've always had nice cars, I like to have a nice car, you know, and thinking about it now, God, my son and daughters watch me do this. Yeah. They don't see that nowadays.
That's a good way of putting it.
Does that make sense? Yeah, so you're influencing them from a very early age.
It's not always as you say what we say, it's what you do.
It's what you do. And they're sitting there watching that. They're sitting there watching me go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning when I was living at home with them, and coming back, taking them to school, because my job allowed me to do that. I'm so proud of the fact that I was able to do that for the first 10 years or whatever. And obviously you get to a stage where your daughter don't want to hold your hand anymore. At 8 years old, it breaks your heart. Yeah. You'll have all this to come. So all these things they see you doing, they see you go to the gym, they see you working hard, they see you having nice things, so naturally then they're going to want some of that, hopefully. I read something on Twitter the other day, if this was my age group obviously, if you're looking at your parents and they're still working really, really hard, work harder.
Yeah.
Because you need to do something.
I
but my dad's always been work hard, 7 days a week, graft. I'm a big believer in work smart, not hard. So when you say work hard, I cringe a little bit. I think work smart these days, and the kids don't even realise it. You know, it's today, we're sitting here, but kids, get on this, earn some money. Well, I always said you don't get on that to earn money, but you can.
There's so much opportunity.
So much opportunity today. I get all these kids saying, I don't know what to do, they don't know what this, there's no opportunities out there. It was all right for you when you was younger. Yeah, of course it was all right for me on a building site every day of the week. Never had all those things. Nowadays, the internet, every single opportunity, Instagram, whatever it is, on social media, or just the internet, there's an opportunity there.
Yeah,
definitely. Hiding behind the computer, you don't want to talk to anybody and tap the right buttons. You can, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's another amazing thing with social media is it's such a platform now that you can share a message. You know, you can share. This is what I'm trying to do in mental health. You know, share something that can hopefully, as you say, inspire people or get them to seek help. And it has a bad rap, doesn't it? But it can be such a positive thing. And like you say, there's so much opportunity. It's scary.
I think sometimes with the bad rap it gets on the press. Like I think it was on there recently on the TV about, I don't know, certain pictures.
Yeah.
And should Instagram or Facebook or whatever, Facebook or Instagram, should they take them off? Yeah, they should. If there's some pornographic picture on there that you come across and you don't want to be on there, it needs to be getting shot down. You know, if someone's taken a picture of some girl or some boy and they fell out and then they've put it online, how dangerous is that? And then it goes viral. That picture should be gone. If you report it, there should be a system in place, I believe, where that is protected, definitely. There should also be a system, however this could happen, I don't know, that if you go to load a picture like that, it won't let you load it. That'd be even better. So rather than getting it out there, because within seconds, as everybody knows in this generation, it could be within 10 minutes, it could have been seen by 1 million people. And then that 1 million people could have sent it to somebody else, 2 million people. Stop it in the first place from going out there. But it's also about education, isn't it? You're never going to stop kids sending a picture of themselves to someone, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. They've all done it. Who hasn't done it? They've all done it. And then it goes bloody wildfire. You know, stop that in the first place, education. But surely with the technology today, there must be something in place where Instagram or Twitter or, again, social media can stop that being loaded. I think that would be a good thing.
But
Darren, that's me putting the world to rights.
No, I love that. I love that. I was letting you speak because I didn't want to jump in because it's perfect. It's I think, as we say, there's a lot of the government, for example, you know, there was social media needs to be looked at. You know, the government needs to take more responsibility for the waiting list, for the lack of funding. But I 100% agree that yes, you know, Instagram, Facebook need to do more with the actual images. So I think, you know, I just want to say thank you for your honesty. Thank you for the coffee, inviting me in, and I just want you to end it with maybe, if you don't mind, if someone's maybe watching this and they are struggling, or maybe they, you know, feel like everything's kind of coming on top of them, what would you say to them?
The first thing I'd say it depends on the age group, obviously. If it's, you know, late teens or whatever, because I'm going to be talking like a parent now, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, definitely. Anybody in the adult world, get yourself exercising, but kids, get yourself exercising. For me, that works. So that's the first thing. What I would also do is try and create things where, if you like something, do more of it. Do more of the things that you like, not the things you don't like. We all have to do things we don't like in the life. But if you can find something that you really enjoy doing, for me, at the moment, it's now Instagram. It was boxing and bits and pieces. It's now Instagram. You know, I like doing it. Yeah, some days it feels like a job. Probably it almost turned into a bit of a job now. So do more of the things you like and less of the things you don't like. That's a good way of trying to control things. Exercise. You are what you eat. I'm a big believer in what Joe Wicks, the body coach, is doing. He's a friend of mine as well. Made friends again through Instagram. Got to one of his live workouts. Did a collaboration with Mini Park Lane in London. Became friends with Joe. Joe sends me messages. But what that man's doing with all the schools and everything else, I'm a massive fan of it. So he's only 30 years old, I think, 31, but he inspires me. It should be the other way around, but you know, and we've had this conversation. So exercise, sunshine, do the things you really like doing, whether that be going out with all your mates or drinking with your friends, whatever you're doing, just do that really. talk about it. Seek help, go to the doctors, definitely, and have a chat. And if pills are the way forward, take the pills. But with the pills, I would definitely say still exercise. You get a double barrel, so you're going to get the pill once it eventually starts working. It don't happen overnight. That'll take weeks and weeks and weeks, and you've got to be on them for a long period of time. But that with exercise, it could balance it out as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
For me, if it's like the blue days, you get out. Don't sit here doing interviews like this. Get yourself out there. And,
you're aching to go out.
I'm aching to get out. Get some rays on you and take a picture, and whatever it is you enjoy doing, basically. That's what I say. I used to have a little thing about going out buying clothes all the time. Yes, I've liked clothes, but my quick fix used to be a bit of time on my hands. Right, let's go to the shops. This was back in the days where I had to pay a full price for everything and skimp myself just to get this item on. But nowadays, again, that's different because I'm quite fortunate enough that brands give me things now, or I get a very, very good discount on things. So that's made that a little bit easier. But I used to get a quick fix. Oh yeah, I got a new top, fantastic.
Do you think, just quickly, do you think that's a good thing?
Yes and no. It wasn't for me at the time. I got this new top on, a new whatever jumper it is, and get it on and wears off. Once you've bought the top, the next morning you wake up and boom, you're back again. Okay, go back out again. If you've got the money to do it, don't get in credit card debt. Go and do it again. Pair of jeans, fantastic. You know, all those things are quick fixes. The long-term fix, definitely, for me, is the exercise. You are what you eat. If you're going to eat burgers and chips and McDonald's or fast foods, unhealthy food or junk food 7 days a week, you're going to feel like it.
I agree,
The healthier you eat, the more exercise you do, the more you'll want to do, the fitter and the better you'll look, the nicer clothes will fit nicer, you feel better about yourself. You know, all those things are a combination of getting better, really. But most importantly, talk about it. And if anybody wants to slide into my DMs, they can do. If they see this, you will obviously tag me up on this, and if I can help one person, give them a little message, or if this video or podcast or whatever you want to call it, interview, is helping one person, it's been worth me spending 2 hours of my day with you, Paul. You've travelled 2 hours, I'm giving you 2 hours back. We'll probably have a little bit longer yet. Actually, we're all right yet. We don't have to cut it short now. I'm enjoying it now.
We've got him talking now. And
by the way, this is literally my first ever chat with anybody.
I honestly want to say thank you, and just, you know, for being open and honest. And you've made it easy for this to be the first one that I've done. So
I feel honoured.
I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. I feel honoured that you've asked me anyway. Now I was dead nervous before you got here. You banged on the door dead on 12 o'clock, as I mentioned. So yeah, you know, it's been an honour. So I hope everybody's enjoyed listening to me waffling on.
You're not waffling, but what we'll do is I'll link up to Darren, and you're probably going to see a lot of this interview, and hopefully it's helped maybe show a different side to someone that you know might see on Instagram and make an immediate judgment of. So huge thanks again.
No problem at all. Thank you very much.
See you all very soon.
Take care.
Brilliant, man.
Is that good?
You're great, yeah.
No, so good. Do you want another drink?